We're going to have a panel discussion, and we're going to talk about various topics in this panel discussion. Kanti is a founder of SASHA, which is support against sexual harassment. Kanti is an advocate and management graduate from IIM. She supports workplaces as an external member on internal committees. So please put your hands together. Sunita Pai, please. Sunita spearheads the marketing communication at the Timken Company, and in her previous stints has handled corporate communications at the Volvo Group and other esteemed organizations. Akhil, please come on stage. Akhil is the Senior Director of Engineering at Walmart Labs, a company which I admire very much, and has donned multiple hats as co-founder, director and consultant in a decade-spanning career spanning 2 decades. Please take a seat. Laila Khalil is currently the Director of Corporate Communications and CSR at Lowe's India. Laila is an astute management professional with more than 18 years of experience across operational management, corporate, real estate, asset valuation and architecture design development. And Sridhar, I just saw him here. All right, okay, sure, of course. Yeah, so Sridhar, ladies and gentlemen, is a corporate training and consultant who has worked with multiple organizations, national and international. Is credited with creating a sports-based module for leadership training. That's very interesting. So there are various topics that we want to talk about, and in no particular order. Yeah, so they have enough mics. Excellent. First of all, thank you all for joining, and I think, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That's all right. Thank you. Okay, so Kanti, I believe you've been championing the cause of sexual harassment, and it's a topic that is very topical of late with all the Me Too movement. And I was very interested when somebody said, why should Me Too only be restricted to Bollywood? And no, because I think it's applicable anywhere these days. So I think, as me personally, and I'm sure the crowd would just want to know, how do you recognize sexual harassment? Right? What do you see? You must have seen examples as well. But generally, how do you recognize that what is sexual harassment?
Okay, I think I would like to refer back to the play that we witnessed, where the manager remarks saying spreadsheets or bed sheets, right? So there was a use of bed sheets made. What was the necessity to use such kind of a language in a strictly professional environment? So that was one word used. Taking it further ahead, probably when she proposed that they should have more such kind of discussions, the manager only insists that she spends late hours with him, or asks her to meet him during the weekends, asks personal questions. So under this legislation, being an advocate, I'll have to invariably refer back to the law. So under the law, the moment there is a sexual tone, undertone or overtures, if the sexual overtures or undertones, whatever the sexual behavior is unwelcome to the recipient, there is a context of a workplace, then yes. But there is no mathematical definition to say, well, if this and this is there, then it will be sexual harassment. It wholly depends upon the perception of the recipient. And under this law, there is a committee that is required to be constituted in each and every workplace to address such kind of concerns. Mainly, even though Sachit has not asked me that question, I'm taking it ahead further here, only for a little while. So, to create this kind of awareness, for people to experience and know how it feels when such kind of references are made. How do you draw the line? What exactly is consent? So that is where experiential learning plays a very major role, and we have successfully used theater. That is one aspect. The second aspect is, as members of the committee, only if the committee is equipped to address these issues, we are able to redress the grievance in a fair, just and transparent manner. From a legal standpoint, it is very easy, you have a law laid down. But how does the member of the committee connect with the person who has walked up with a grievance? There are, right now when we were witnessing that, we saw that there are a lot of emotional aspects involved. There are a lot of personal issues involved. Mainly it is very, very sensitive in nature. So it becomes very important that people who redress these grievances are equipped. So there also we have used theatre to ensure that everybody is equipped. In case if they face such kind of a scenario in real life, what exactly is it that they are required to do? So breaking it down so that every individual is able to apply it in their day-to-day lives. So,
Excellent. No, thank you. Thank you for preempting my question.
yes, thanks
Right.
Sanjay.
Just moving across to a different topic, let's say the whole corporate world as well, and looking at theatre from a very business perspective. Akhil, just want to understand from you, being in Walmart and, such a large organization globally, what challenges that were in our organization, and before that, if you can just very quickly speak about Walmart Labs in India and what it does. But what challenges that you were seeing that prompted you, or you thought that theatre can be applied to address that challenge? If you can just talk a little bit about that, please.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you really look at Walmart Lab, just to give a context, the organization has been in India from a technology point of view for the last decade or so, but we mostly started growing in the last 5 years. So when I joined the organization 5 years ago, we were around 250 people, but now we are 2,000 plus. So in the last 3 to 4 years, we've hired like 40% of our organization, which was totally new. And then on top of it, we have the complexity of working in a Fortune 1 organization. Majority of our customers or the businesses were sitting in the US, but we also have to support 25 different countries. So what we were looking at was people coming into the organization and being productive almost day one. And being productive means go and support our businesses and also work with the team members whom they are not acquainted with. Typically, to get to work in a team, to understand each other in a team, and all of that takes some amount of time. We do a lot of classroom trainings, induction sessions, and all of those aspects of it. But what we actually realized is if we do something which is more interactive, which is like a theater-based form, which is there, right? That makes this whole process faster. People get to know each other better. They actually work well with each other. They're able to speak with lesser inhibitions. And then obviously it is much better for us as an organization. So that was one of the reasons for us to say that why don't we look at theater as a means of training and letting the people know each other much better.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And someone from your industry, I would say, not your direct competitor, but in the US, but at least in the same industry, which is retail. Leila, similarly, like what Akhil was saying, what are some of the challenges that you were facing at Lowe's India? And I think Lowe's India is more recent in India than Walmart, I would imagine, right? So what are some of the challenges that you were seeing in the organization that you thought, theatre can be an excellent medium to address those challenges?
Good morning, everyone. So I think I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about my experience in Volvo, my previous organization to Lowe's. The reason being that the theatre intervention that we had planned there was, it was cutting across a bigger cross-section of the corporate organization. And alluding to also some of the examples that were played out earlier this afternoon, we were trying to address diversity, inclusion, and particularly breaking some of the mindsets or the gender biases that exist in a hardcore manufacturing, male-dominated industry. And I have to tell you that the first time the idea was shared with me, and this is by my co-panelist Sunita Pai, who was a colleague with me back there, I myself was extremely skeptical. However, having a very good working relationship, I don't think she had to try very hard to convince me. But I would say my biggest apprehension was how do we go back to our management team with this idea and sell this idea for them? I have to tell you that, you know, a lot of it was uncalled for because I think over time you realize that unless and until you're willing to experiment and somebody is willing to go ahead and make that first move, things can actually work. So speaking about the actual workshop that occurred, I think we had about some 100 or 150 different managers, mostly middle and senior management team members of the organization, and again dominated by males. They actually, you know, I would say the response was very positive, and I think they were also able to imbibe, or that self-awareness was created very successfully through this theater intervention model, and given the fact that it was a very interactive process. Moving on to Lowe's, my collaboration with Nandini and yours truly was slightly different. Here it was purely selfish in nature because I was handling a portfolio which had multiple different administrative departments reporting to me. And, you know, the team had undergone various org changes previously. So the moment I came on board and they had to report to me, they were like, oh no, another manager to report to, you know, and it's a female manager, you know, I mean, those biases always exist.
Right.
And I thought one way of bringing everyone together, giving them comfort, creating a platform where they felt that this was a change that could be for the better, is when I reached out to Nandini again. And this time I explained the problem to her. I said, you know, I have this mixed bag of 20 odd people with different skill sets reporting to me. Do you think we can use theater as a medium to help them understand my role as a manager, what expectations need to be set, so on and so forth? And I think, you know, here I didn't have to sell the idea to anyone, but again, it was a very successful workshop. I was able to cut across many barriers with my team. I think they saw me in a whole new light because they saw me as this cool manager who is trying cool intervention programs and you know, corporate training programs to bring people together. So I think that was you know, my experience with Lowe's. Very good, very well, and I think I do look back as one of the highlights in my time with the organization.
I'll go across to Sunita and ask her her experience at Volvo and how the experience with theatre was. But after that, I'm going to come back to the audience with questions that you all have. So start forming your questions, and I'll let Sunita speak in the meanwhile. So Sunita, if you can just give a glimpse as to what was done at Volvo and how that has helped.
Yeah, like Laila already kind of outlined. Basically in 2014, we had, Laila and I had launched this Women's Inclusion Network. And we had taken ownership of the stage program for the Diversity and Inclusion Week. So we had to come up with something that was, you know, refreshing, engaging, and provided an equal platform for both men and women. And like how Mr. Sridhar said, you know, we didn't want the audience to think of it as a relaxing time, you know. We wanted some kind of takeaways from that program, you know, something that would be memorable. And visuals, you know, something that is happening live is always more, you know, engaging. And here the beauty of this program was that it was in the true spirit of inclusion. Because, you know, everybody, because the questions were so simple, everybody participated in it, you know. Even the most quiet person in the audience was, you know, out there talking. Even the most weird answers were also, pretty much all the inputs were taken while they performed it on stage. And one more good thing what I felt was that it was not preachy, you know, it was just like your inputs that are just played back to you. So I felt that was a very powerful thing, you know, so people are forced to think about it themselves rather than we kind of force feeding something, you know. So in that sense, it was good. Also, if you know, like in most organizations, Volvo also has got a great focus on learning and development. So then what happens is the managers are, they have so many mandatory trainings. After sometimes you feel fatigue, you know, because you have the same kind of template for presentation, for icebreakers, you know, pretty much the same things goes on and on again. So this was a little bit of a shocker, you know, so a little bit like, so we felt that was good. So, and that was the only thing I needed to sell it to the management team. I had to say that, you know, it'll kind of break away from the monotony. So let's at least give this a chance. And it was a good decision overall.